And the Georgia state legislature passed sweeping new election rules into law, expanding access for candidates trying to get on the ballot, and perhaps limiting access for some Georgians to vote. Joining us now, political reporter at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and MSNBC political contributor Greg Bluestein. All right, explain the first part, the candidates to get on the ballot. Why does this make it easier for them?
Well, one of the biggest changes of this legislative package that Governor Kemp is expected to sign is it would grant any political party that is qualified for the presidential ballot in at least 20 states immediate access to Georgia's ballot. That could open the door for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or another third-party candidate to immediately get on the ballot. And Republicans in Georgia, at least, feel like that could hurt President Biden more than it could hurt Donald Trump in November.
Why?
Well, they think that these independent voters, in the suburbs and beyond, who are still up in the air about whether or not they like Donald Trump or Joe Biden, will end up leaning towards Donald Trump. I don't see it myself. I've been to several Robert F. Kennedy Jr. rallies, especially including one here in Georgia. And of the 24 or so voters that I interviewed there, most of them were already leaning Republican, were leaning towards Donald Trump. But I think they think that the overall name brand of a Kennedy name brand will end up hurting Biden more.
Let me ask you about voting and the ability for voters to actually vote. What does this new change in rules do to that?
Yeah, this is the other big part. This is the furthest reaching election law package since the 2020 election in Georgia that really overhauled and rewrote Georgia voting rules. This change reinforces how individual voters can challenge the eligibility of literally thousands and thousands of voters, an unlimited number of voters within their own county. Now, we're not talking about just a few people here and there, Katie. Activists have disputed more than 100,000 voter registrations in Georgia since 2021. Most of these challenges have been rejected, but elections officials say it's a tremendous drain on their already strapped resources in places, especially in rural areas where they don't have a lot of officials to kind of wade through all these complaints.
What about the rule that's at the center of Curb Your Enthusiasm right now, this rule about whether you can give people water or food as they wait in line? Has there been any blowback to that in the years since it passed?
Yeah, it's gotten a lot of attention since 2021, where it passed right after the 2020 election. And Republicans said that liberal groups were giving out water and pizza and food and encouraging people to stay in line. And liberal groups were indeed doing that, saying that, there was hours-long lines in some cases. I would interview voters in 2020 who were bringing lawn chairs. They were bringing coolers so they could, fulfill their constitutional duty, their right to cast a ballot. It was frankly depressing. Since then, there has been very little, most of the time local officials have kind of looked the other way. If there's a group, if there's people giving out water, giving out food, they don't want to get in a Curb Your Enthusiasm type situation. But, that 2021 law, I should say, went much further than that. And I think some of the more onerous parts of that law involved the Georgia legislature being able to have direct oversight over local election procedures.
Yeah, it's been really interesting just revisiting that law through that show. And for my prediction, for what it's worth, I think Curb this year, you're hearing me out there, is going to end the same exact way that Seinfeld ended, with a trial and everybody coming in and telling Larry how terrible he is. Greg, thank you very much. Thanks for letting me get that in there. I've been harping on this for weeks.
Hey, everyone. MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.